Hello and welcome everyone to your very own channel BlinkX. Friends, I'm very happy to reintroduce our VP of Commodities Research at JMFS, Mr. Pranav Mer. Welcome, Pranav. Thank you for joining us in this show today.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thanks for
Okay,
inviting
so
again.
Pranav, commodities is like, there's one commodity on everyone's mind, and I think it has been on everyone's mind since August. No doubts guessing here. What is like? Last time when we had met, you had told us that it's the central banks buying gold, which has taken a, and in terms of dollars, I think देखते ही देखते 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, 3,500 तक अभी हम पहुंचने वाले हैं, Pranav. So I mean, really exciting times in terms of commodities. What do you think?
Yes, definitely 3,500 हम पहुंचने वाले हम 3,500 पहुंच चुके हैं. We have already reached that level. अब वहां से हमें करेक्शन भी मिला. अब फिर से प्राइस ऊपर की तरफ की रैली स्टार्ट कर ली है. ये हफ्ते में 2 ट्रेडिंग सेशंस में काफी अच्छी रैली मिली है. प्राइसेस आर अप 4%. तो लेट्स सी हाउ द मार्केट्स आर फेज्ड आउट, कैसा मोमेंटम रहता है, व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स, वो सब जो हम आज डिस्कस करेंगे कि सेंट्रल बैंक के अलावा और क्या-क्या चीजें हैं जो कि गोल्ड प्राइसेस को सपोर्ट किए हैं. एक अलग ही डायरेक्शन में जा रहा है गोल्ड, नो कीपिंग ऑल द एसेट क्लासेस बिहाइंड इट.
Right. And additionally, even crude oil, like in terms of India, it's a great advantage for us that crude is also constantly. I think last I checked, we were settled around below $60. So that also adds to the. Apart from जो अभी इंडिया पाकिस्तान को लेके जो local tensions है, other than that, as far as positives go, the macro indicators very much in favor of India.
Yes, definitely. अगर आप जो भी डेटास, इनकमिंग डेटास देखो, the foreign investors have, again putting in their money into the domestic markets. Then we have the equities are doing good, although some kind of time correction is being seen over the past few trading sessions. But the bias has turned a little bit on the positive side. But yes, the situation remains very much critical considering the border issues with the neighboring country. Also, we have the US trade negotiation. So there are a lot of issues that has been, keeping the markets volatile. Middle East tensions are likely to again push up. The Israel-Yemen issue has again started pushing up. Russia-Ukraine is still there in place. But yes, it has kept the bullion firm, gold firm, irrespective of what is happening in the global markets. Gold has been attracting some safe haven demand, which is seen keeping the bullion firm at every corrective levels.
Right. So I think without further ado, let's move on with the show. Viewers, please get in your questions. The point of this webinars is कि आपको experts से direct opinion और outlook मिले market का. साथ ही में आपके कोई भी doubts हो, please put them in the comment section and we will take it at the end of the show. So without further ado, Pranav, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Pranav this side. I look after commodity and currency research at the JM Financial. So today's focus remains on the commodities outlook. So what has been happening into the commodities market? What are the events that has kept the commodity prices elevated, especially gold prices elevated in the international market? We have seen cues being followed in the domestic market as well. So looking at what has been we'll look at some of the factors that drive the commodity prices, like what has been happening, the gold prices, silver prices, what has been happening between both the commodities. We have seen a rally continuing in gold, but silver has been a little bit of on the underperforming side. So this is what we are going to discuss. We are going to discuss about all rest of the commodities, what has been happening there as well, and in conjunction with what is the events that has been driving the commodity prices. And in fact, it has been impacting the financial market as a whole as well. So to start with, we'll start with the precious metal first. What are the factors that has been driving the gold prices higher? If you see the data over the past since the month of November, since the US President Donald Trump had won the elections, there has been a consistent a rise in gold prices. Although we saw some initial correction towards the month and December, But after from the month of January, if we see prices have been continuously on the positive side. On an year till date basis, we are already 30% up in gold prices in the international market. Domestic markets also prices are up nearly 25% up. So this is what has been the key driver over the past 3 to 4 months is the US president's trade policies, the kind of tariffs he has been implementing since the beginning of April, and especially on China, where we have seen the tariffs being implemented of more than 145% from imports. Some relaxations have been seen, but this is not convincing the investors for any kind of we can say that there could be any relaxation on the trade policies from the US side. The negotiations are still on between US, between various countries, but there has been no concrete agreement being signed by any country with the US. We are also, as Asian nations like India, Japan, are all leading this negotiations with US, but there has been no concrete outcome of that. So that uncertainty is playing onto the investor's mind. And yes, whenever there is uncertainty, it is always positive for gold, and it continues to move higher. Then the US dollar have seen a good correction from around 110 to 97. Currently, it is hovering below 100 levels. So that is one more factor that is seen positive for the bullion prices. Recession fear, yes, definitely. If such kind of tariffs are implemented again, and it could push the US economy towards recession. So that is one more key factor that is seen supportive. Central bank buying, although has slowed down over the past couple of months, but they are definitely the biggest driver of gold prices since 2021, ever since the Russia-Ukraine invasion. And it has been a continuous process, be it the Indian central bank or the Chinese central bank, where most of the central banks have been the net buyers of gold in the international market. Exchange traded funds, yes, this is one more investment avenue where people can buy something in an SIP form rather than buying it in the physical form from the market, from the jewelry shop, buying a coin or a bar, paying a GST, paying taxes and everything. Rather than one can accumulate in the ETFs in an SIP form. So this is one more sector that has been driving the gold prices here. Higher rising demand from the exchange traded funds, that is the ETF investors. Interest rate cut expectations, most of the global markets, be it Europe, UK, or other central banks, most of them have started trimming the interest rates. However, the Fed remains in focus. Already the inflation in US is hovering around 3.2%. It has been unable to come below that. Adding pressure to that would be the trade tariffs, and the rising cost in the US could lead to higher inflation. So interest rate cut, we have the Fed's policy outcome tomorrow. So the statement from Federal Reserve Chairman will be very crucial to watch out. The rate cuts there are not expected, but yes, his commentary will be important to watch out. So these are the key drivers for gold, which has been continuously keeping the bullion supported. Safe haven demand comes in mainly from the Middle East tensions, the Russia-Ukraine issue. So all these are the factors that has been keeping the bullion supported. Next is silver. What is happening in silver? People have been telling why silver is not going up, why silver is not going while gold has been continuously moving up. So the key factor that is keeping the silver prices under check has been the industrial demand. If there is a recession, if there is an escalation in the US trade tariffs, it could push the global economy, slow down in the global economy, which we may see in the industrial demand getting hit. So that is why silver is not moving as fast as how the gold has been moving. Also, the key ratio that we see in gold silver ratio that we see is hovering around 102 again. So little bit of a cautiousness has been seen in the silver as well, as anytime this ratio goes in silver above 100, there has been always a correction in gold prices, and silver has outperformed. So as relative, compared to gold, this time the situation is a little bit on the different side. The industrial metals, like if you see the like copper, zinc, aluminum, these have not been picking up the momentum because of the fears of the trade tariffs, its impact on the global market and the demand as well. Still, silver has been performing, slowly and steadily moving higher on a year to date basis. It is already up nearly 10-12%. So there are new sectors in the market which has pushed up the silver demand, like solar, photovoltaic applications, grid infrastructure,
Hmm.
artificial intelligence, and many other
Right.
things where the silver demand has been increasing. So that is these are the key supportive level drivers which is likely to keep silver prices on the positive side. Next is energy. So what has been happening into the crude? Crude prices previously, when we were discussing crude, prices had some base supports around $64, $67 for the WTI crude,
Right.
and $67 to $70 for the Brent crude. Now, what has happened? Prices have broken this support. We have seen the WTI crude falling close to $56, Brent crude coming down close to $60 per barrel, after which we saw a slight rebound as well. Again, prices have come down and come under selling pressure. So what has been happening is when the supply side factor is seen weighing on to the prices in the international market. If we see the demand supply outlook, the OPEC over the weekend, they have agreed to hike the outputs by more than expected. So the output cuts which were implemented by the OPEC 3 years back, now they are quickly increasing that output in the market. So supply is likely to increase in the market. The demand looks a little bit sluggish because of the tariff related uncertainty. There has been a very much increased penetration and adoption of electric vehicles in the global market. So the fuel demand is getting a hit over here. So that is why we have not seen a rally, or we can say a strong positive momentum in crude. We again see resistance in crude. The previous supports of 64, 67, and 67, 70, we expect this supports to now act as a strong resistance once it has reversed from around those levels. And we have seen a corrective move in oil prices last week. This week again prices are trading a little bit in a consolidative move, but the underlying momentum in crude still remains on the negative side. Natural gas, one of the most volatile commodities. The gas prices that we see in the Indian markets that are traded on MCX are the NYMEX natural gas price, which is which we completely follow with closed eyes. Any changes in the weather pattern in the US, demand supply in the US, storage levels, the productions, output, any kind of outages is likely to impact the natural gas price in the US, and we will see the immediate impact in the domestic markets. Then industrial metals, what has been happening? Uh, Beginning April, we saw a sharp sell-off in the copper prices. But during when the U.S. president announced his tariffs, there were expectations that the copper and other metals could be included in the tariff quotas, but that was not announced. And we saw prices witnessing a big correction of more than 100 points in copper. It came down from 917 to 790 levels, after which we have again seen a steady recovery in metal prices. So, what has been the factor that is seen supportive to the metal? First is the weakness in the US dollar. Then, exchange level inventories have been continuously declining. There are expectations that China may come out with a stimulus anytime, and China
Right.
is the major consumer of metals. So,
Hmm.
that is why we have seen some positive, a steadiness in the metal prices despite the tariff related uncertainty in the market. What are the data that we should look when we look at the metals? Is the manufacturing data, the industrial production data, the housing data, the infrastructure data that comes out from across global market. It gives us a hint of how the economic activity has been spanning ahead. So these are the few fundamental factors that drive the commodity prices, be it the downside or the upside, and can have a good impact going ahead as well. Next, we'll move to technicals, what the charts have been indicating on the outlook front, starting with the dollar index, which has been, have seen a strong, heavy correction over the past, beginning 3 to 3 months. We have seen dollar index falling from around 110. It came down close to 97, after which we have seen a little bit of consolidation over the past couple of weeks. So, what's the outlook ahead? This support line below which we have seen a breakdown, prices needs to close above this, that is 100. Prices needs to close above 120, 150 for a recovery towards 103, 104.50 levels on the upside. But till this recovery is not seen, till 100.50 is not reached on the upside, we don't expect any bigger up move in dollar index. This consolidation may continue and prices can again dip towards 95, 93 levels in the near term. So that's the outlook for dollar index. Watch out, one needs to watch out resistance at 150 on the upside for any kind of no bigger recovery uh, in the USD dollar index. Next is USD INR. No, we have seen a strong appreciation in the USD INR since the beginning of the year. It went up close to 88 levels. From there, last week we saw a dipping towards 83.77. So this level is the crucial level to watch out. Previously, this was the support resistances. Now this is like to act as a strong support till 83.60, 83.80 is not breached on the downside. We don't expect the rupee to appreciate further. We may see a consolidation phase in the USD INR, after which prices can again start going up close to 85.40, 86 levels. This is one more important chart for gold. So, in our previous webinars, we had discussed about some of the technical indicators like moving averages, like RSI, and other Bollinger Bands. So today we will look at some of the moving averages as well. In some charts, we look at the RSI as well. In some charts, how the charts. So this is the rally in gold since the consolidation, since the beginning of towards the end of December, since the beginning of January. Mind you, this is the note. This is the weekly chart of gold. It has been continuously moving up. A small correction for a week or two, after which prices have again started moving up. Here we again saw correction. Last couple of weeks we have seen some good correction, but this week again prices have reversed. The outlook for gold in dollar terms still remains very much positive. $31.90 will be the strong base support that we need to keep in our mind. Until and unless this support is not breached, the bias will remain positive. We can slowly that the prices can hit levels of $3,600 to $3,800 in the near term. One more thing that one we can look out here is look at the RSI. Where is RSI placed? 75 in the overbought region. When we had discussed in our last webinars, we have mentioned that unless and until the RSI dips from above to now dips below 70 from above, we cannot expect a corrective move. So this is what it indicates. RSI from this rally beginning 2025, we have seen a small jerk. It never went below 70 in this rally, and the positive momentum has continued. Even the last correction, uh, it has still closed above 70. Again, this week we have seen a rally. So this is a strong technical indicator and a trend indicator that the underlying bias remains positive. Supports is the 31.90. We should keep in mind in the dollar terms for gold's trend. This is the gold chart, daily chart, domestic market. The current CMP would be around 96,660 levels. This is the morning chart. Again, the moving averages on daily charts. Prices are trading above all its long-term moving averages, 50-day, 100-day, 200-day. So the trend remains very much positive. RSI is around 61. It means it still has a room to go up close to 70. If we see over the past, since the month of January, ever since RSI has moved above 50 here, it has never gone or sustained below 50. So in this rank between 2025, the RSI has continues to move up. Every corrective level in RSI towards 50, we have seen a recovery in gold prices. Another positive indication that the trend remains positive. What are the levels to watch in the Indian markets? Support is around 92,700, 91,900. Strong base support Till it is not breached, the bias remains on the positive side. We could see prices witnessing the extended gains towards 98, 900. Possibly it can hit 1 lakh levels also in the near term. Next is silver. Again, if we see the daily chart, the moving averages, so silver has been just on the sidelines. Nothing has been happening much in silver, although we have seen some good buying support coming back. But if you look at the silver chart, prices are stuck between its long-term moving averages. If you see, the black line is the 50-day, green is the 100-day, blue is the 200-day moving average. Currently, it is between its 50-day and 100-day moving average. It has tried to attempt a breakout many times, one, two, three, four, 5 times, but it has failed to sustain and it has again fallen back. So it is at the consolidation phase. The breakout level that we expect in silver is above 97,500. It needs to close and sustain above the same for this rally to extend towards 1 lakh 2,000, 1 lakh 5,000 levels as well. But till this level is not breached and sustained, we may see continued consolidation in silver prices. The base support that we need to watch out in silver first would be around 94,300 and next support around 91,500 on the downside, which comes close to its move. Next is crude. This is the weekly chart. If somebody must have attended our webinars previously, we were trading somewhere around this levels, the consolidation range of crude ever since the beginning of January when it rallied, after which prices have continued to remain under selling pressure. The trend still remains corrective. We may see a small upside next week also, but resistance for silver would be around 5,400, 52, 50, 54, 80 levels. Till these levels are not breached, the trend remains corrective. And the similar resistance in the international market is around $64 to 67 on the upside. So the trend remains very much corrective. We expect prices to dip further close to 4,600, 4,200 levels in short term. Dollar terms prices can dip below $48, $50 in the per barrel in the international market. This is the natural gas daily chart. We have taken this chart, to mix the daily and weekly chart just to ensure that we get the clarity of how the price momentum is, what the near-term trend is. So what has been happening in natural gas? A good recovery from around 260 levels. It has moved up to above 300. So if we see the prices are currently in between its long-term moving averages, with resistance at 326 at 50-day moving average and support at 268, which is the 200-day moving average. So the broader view, although remains positive for natural gas a little bit, but until unless we see a breakout either above 330 or below 260, prices may see some consolidation in the near term. So the near term range for natural gas remains between 260 to 326 on the upside. In immediate basis, if we are looking, somebody is looking for an outlook for 3 to 4 trading sessions, 288 would be the strong support to watch out. 388 is not breached. We expect natural gas prices to witness a bigger correction. It can recover from around 290.95 and can rally towards 320, 325 levels on the upside. So that is what we expect natural gas in next 2 trading days. Base metals, copper, as I had discussed when we were discussing the pointers earlier, a big dip in copper prices from around 917 to 789. Again, prices have recovered and we are moving slightly into a consolidation phase in copper prices now. We may see some time correction over the past few trading sessions or in the coming few trading sessions or in the coming few weeks as well. But the bias still remains very much positive, with support at around 7,810 and next support at 789. This support prices can slowly and steadily again start moving up close to 890 and possibly towards 920 levels as well. Now, if we see the metals trend, copper has been positive, zinc and aluminum have been under selling pressure over the past couple of months. Over the past 4 weeks, both the metals have consolidated in a range. This is the proof that consolidating in a range, but within its corrective momentum. Zinc 253 and 256 are the resistances. Till these levels are not breached, prices are expected to remain under selling pressure. In the near term, we expect prices to dip close to 230, 225 levels. And the last one is aluminum. Again, similar chart to zinc, we have seen a big correction and a continuation over the past 4 trading weeks. This is the fifth week of sideways momentum. So the resistance for aluminum comes in at around 237, 238 levels. Support comes around 228, 229. Either breakout trend. For now, the trend is corrective. Any rebound close to 236 is the ideal level to go in for fresh sell. Keeping stop above 238. Look for target close to 230, 229. At 228, we could see more correction close to 220 to 15 levels. Similarly, in zinc also, any rebound close to 250 to 250, 252 is the ideal level to go sell. Stop loss would be about 256, and one can look for target downside close to 33, 225 in the near term. So this was what no, the fundamental factors were. What has been driving the commodity prices. Skipping them in a range. Some commodities in a range. Gold has been a completely outperformer in the entire commodities basket, and how silver is likely to play the catch-up game. Once, if we see a breakout on charts, what are the key drivers of silver as well? Key levels, important chart levels for dollar index, gold, silver, and for energy as well as the metals as well. Now I open this forum for Q&A. If you have any questions, any queries, we can, would be happy to answer those.
Perfect. Perfect. No, thank you so much, Pranav. Very detailed as always. We went from the fundamental side to the technical side. It is always a great session whenever you're here. I actually wanted to bring in apne presentation ke start mein, you mentioned the gold silver ratio, the price ka ratio. I mean, I think it has
Yes.
become quite popular because I was watching, I don't remember which channel it was, but I was watching Mark Mobius today talking about gold and how he loves gold, but he's sitting on cash, and right now he feels like it's not the ideal place to enter. But eventually the conversation wo aage aise bade ki they're saying ki is it a possible. I thought this was very interesting, which is why I wanted to bring it into our conversation today, that now that your gold silver ratio chart is so skewed on the other side, is there any sense in making a strategy where someone shorts gold and picks up silver, or how would you
There
look at
have
this?
been many people coming up with this strategy of selling gold and buying silver. See, unless and until there is a pickup in the industrial demand, or we see a sharp up move in the metals like industrial metals like copper, we don't expect silver prices to see any kind of outperformance. There
Right.
could be a possibility of some catch up game in silver prices. It may start catching up with gold, but the moves are expected to remain capped in silver price. Gold has, as I said earlier, it has completely moved into a different trajectory. It has become a completely different investment at all. Over the past 3 years, 3 to 4 years, we have seen a strong rally. Every corrective move has been followed in gold by with strong buying. Last week was the example. We gold ended in the negative territory. It came down close to support levels. This week, two trading sessions, and we are up 4% in gold in just two trading
Right.
sessions. So we can understand the kind of buying that has been coming into gold. But again, if somebody wants to take that risk of selling gold and buying silver, the best thing is watch out for support levels from where silver is likely to rebound. Look
Right.
out for corrective levels in gold. Like last week, couple of weeks we saw a sharp correction after gold prices hit its all-time high, of around 3,500 dollars. Indian markets, it went up to 99,350. So what has
Mm.
happened in the past couple of weeks? The gold silver ratio, silver has remained relatively stable. Gold prices have taken a sharp dip, so that has pushed the ratio down to 97. Again, we have
Mhm.
seen gold silver, the ratio again moving up to above 102, today.
Correct.
And that is because the silver has remained stable, but gold has rallied. So what has been
Mm.
happening is that at corrections, silver is remaining stable. Even in the rallies, the silver is remaining stable, but gold has been moving the ratio. So
Correct.
at current price levels, very difficult to tell कि आप सिल्वर बाय करके बैठो, गोल्ड सेल करके बैठो, ऐसा स्प्रेड आर्बिट्राज बिठा के बैठो. Still, if
Mm.
somebody wants to take a bet, watch out for this ratio. It has been unable to cross 105. So if this ratio rises somewhere close to 103, 104, one can take this bet, keeping a SL of a ratio SL of above 105, and take this strategy. But it would be a little bit on the riskier side.
Very interesting. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Pranav. I have a question coming in. Hi sir, please share your view on Euro USD. Euro is काफी अभी चर्चा में चल रहा है because सब लोग dollars dump कर रहे हैं और euro strong होते जा रहा है. Can we have your view on that?
Euro USD, 1 second. Let me
Sure, sure.
get the chart of Euro USD. So I would be using this investing.com to just show you the trend in the Euro USD.
Sure, sure.
So the outlook for Euro USD, you need to watch out for support around 12 1.08. The support of 1.12, in fact, should be acting as a strong support. If prices are able to break this support of 1.12, then there is a possibility of we may see some corrective move, or we can say it could be a retracement correction towards 109, 107 levels on the downside. So watch out for this support at 1.12 in Euro USD. Till this support is not reached, the bias is expected to remain positive. We may see some continued consolidation as we have been seeing for the past 3 to 4 trading sessions. And
Mhm.
similar level on the dollar index comes around 100.50 that we discussed in our presentation.
Mhm. Right, right, right. Okay, okay. We have, we have two more questions. We have one appreciation comment. It's an emoji with the thumbs up. The both next two of our questions are regarding gold and silver only. One person is asking, does it make sense to start a gold and silver SIP?
Yes, one can definitely start gold and silver SIP if you are looking to trying to make a portfolio, or we can do a small basket of gold and silver. I would suggest you can add 50-50. If you want to invest 100 rupees, for example, put 50 in gold, put 50 in silver. Try to do it in the SIP form, and definitely yes, it can help you out. If you want to trade on futures, we have the advisory available on for trading on the futures. We give the positional calls, the reports, and everything that are released. If you can share the email ID, with
Mhm.
the team, and we can start forwarding those, and you can start watching them as well.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. I'll make sure to pitch that at the end of the show. Last question we have. This is your asking for short term targets on gold and silver.
See, the short
But
term targets for gold still positive. As I said, $3,600. It can test 3,800 levels as well in dollar terms. But we need to
Mhm.
watch out for support at 3,190. Since we are in an uncharted territory, there are no major resistances on the upside, or it's an open sky for gold prices for now. Only resistance that prices may face would be around $3,500, 3,505, which is the all-time high which it had hit last week, a couple of weeks back. So the
Right.
bias remains positive for gold. 3190 is the support, stop loss, whatever we consider. If this level is breached, there is a possibility of some bigger correction. But till it is holding up, we maintain a positive view and expect them prices to test $3,600 to $3,800 on the upside.
Right. Okay. Okay, wonderful. I think that is it for the questions for our viewers. We know that काफी हमारे viewers जो live हमसे नहीं जुड़ पाते. You can always put your questions to us on our socials. आप हमें Twitter, Instagram, everywhere we are available on all socials. You can follow us there, and आपके कोई भी doubts हो, so you can definitely put it to us, and we will take the questions to the experts and try and get it answered for you. Our objective is to give you the best market information from the market experts such as Pranav, so you can make your best decisions. And जैसे प्रणव ने कहा, if you want to delve deeper into this and futures, commodities trading, please drop in your email IDs and we will pass it forward to the teams who will then assist you further with that. So with that, I think we call it a close. Thank you so much, Pranav. As always, whenever you come, you come in with a very detailed review, and I think that is where we've started doing our webinars with a gap, because last couple of sessions I think we had discussed also कि यार हमने अगर एक महीने में किया और फिर किया उसमें इतना change नहीं होता. So it's actually very refreshing, and seeing gold fly like this, it is like you say, sone pe suhaga. So wonderful session. Thank you so much for joining us, Pranav.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. See you guys on the next